beer tubers, welcome back to Maxwell Starr's beer review. Tonight we're going to take a look at KLB Raspberry Wheat. KLB, or Carwartha Lakes Brewing Company, is a defunct company. Now the rights to brew their product has been acquired by the Amsterdam Brewing Company of Ontario. This particular brew hails from the province of Ontario, but this particular can of it was sent to me from Nova Scotia by none other than Al Harlock of Hoogly Beer Review. So, great thanks to him for sending me this particular brew. I've had this in the fridge for probably a little over a month now, waiting to drink it, and now's a good time. So, the front of the can says it's a perfect balance of German hops and Belgian wheat and pure raspberry essence that gives this beer its signature aroma and flavor. The taste is distinguished by the fresh raspberry bouquet and slightly tart taste. Beer with raspberry flavor. Cool. Weighs in at 4.5% ABV, and right there it actually says down the bottom corner Amsterdam. So yeah. Alright, let's crack this open and see what she's like. Pour that in my Alexander Keith's pint glass here. Should be more than big enough to hold it. Wow, color wise it's looking pretty much identical to like the Garrison Raspberry Wheat. Gratuitous amount of head, although it doesn't really appear to have the same kind of head retention that you would expect from a wheat beer. It's almost, let's put that way. Wow, it's actually quite, it's almost orange. It's got this nice golden appearance, brassy color, but there's a tinge of copperiness to the very like upper side of the beer, the thicker area. On the other hand, there doesn't really appear to be a huge amount of carbonation in that beer, and there's, as you can see, the head is dying off quite a bit. I mean, at first it was coming up over the lip. Now it's kind of died to about half of that, and it looks like it's dying further. But that said, it's got this nice pillowy appearance and a slightly yellow kind of color ahead. Who scored?
Ottawa.
Ottawa? Okay, so Ottawa's on the board. Anyway. Alright, so, yeah, you can see where it's died off to about half a finger now. But that's not like a huge slate you can hold against to get really beer. I mean, really, head's for aesthetic purposes only. I like a nice fluffy head on top of a beer. But, I mean, really, head gets in the way of the smell. I just don't like it when a beer doesn't have any head at all or can't hold it for more than, a couple seconds. This one does decently well. Alright, so, looking at that, looks like it is sticking to the sides just a little. Let's give it a sniff. There's a hint of raspberry. Hints of a grainy, like a dry, grainy kind of wheat smell. And you also get that kind of scent off of it that feels, it almost like it smells clean. A little bit of sweetness. Malty sweetness, not really any kind of discernible, but maybe like a little bit of like a red fruit kind of sweetness. That's about it. Smells okay. Let's give it a taste. Got a very metallic kind of bitterness. It's decentralized through the mouth, and it doesn't linger. It's got a very, very faint raspberry kind of flavor, along with a little bit of a red fruit malt sweetness. And that raspberry's got a slight amount of like a tannic quality. Not a whole lot. It's got a nice bit of like a sour tartness to it. Perhaps a little bit of like a citrusy tang. I'm not really picking up a huge amount of spices. It's mainly just this nice clean beer. Maybe a hint of clove in there. some kind of caramel sweetness. It's not bad, it's just not absolutely mind-blowing at this point. It finishes dry, but it's a little bit of wetness lingers just for a tad bit, but for the most part finishes dry. Alright, I'm going to sit down with this one for a bit, and I'll be right back. And we're back with KLB Raspberry Wheat. So, what did I think about this particular brew? Well, it's good, but it's not absolutely mind-blowing or anything incredible. It's just a decent, easy drinking, nice, clean fruit beer, but it doesn't really have a whole lot of fruit flavor. It doesn't really have a whole lot of weedy tastes or typical wheat beer tastes. It just has this nice, easy drinking taste, clean, with a little bit of fruity sour tartness, and not quite as overboard as that Messager gluten-free garbage that I was drinking. Yeah, I don't mind it, but it's not something I'd buy again. And in fact, I'd highly recommend like Garrison's Raspberry Wheat or Pump House's Blueberry Ale over something like this. Just because I find it, if you're going to look for a fruit beer, this is a much better alternative. Or that they're a much better alternative than this. Although, really, you can't go wrong with this one either. As such, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. It's not bad. It's definitely worth the passing grade, but it's not like this the best thing since sliced bread or anything. It's just a decent beer. Anyway, special thanks to Al Harlock for sending me this particular can from Nova Scotia. Very many thanks to him, and thank you especially for watching this video. And I'll talk to you guys later. Cheers.